Hi everyone, we should be live now. So welcome everyone, welcome those who are joining. Today we are on the live stream of our new live coding session. This session is about troubleshooting our Kubernetes deployment. So right now we've deployed our Kubernetes monitoring system to Google Cloud Platform, and are making some updates, some changes. And right now we face the issue, as you see on the screen, that we have the unreachable addresses and gateway timeouts. And today we're gonna be having this session to really understand how we're handling those incidents, how should we react on them, and how we should troubleshoot them. Alright, so before we move forward, I just go ahead and do some preparational stuff before we dive in and get started. Let's wait. Well, maybe a few more people will join us soon. Yep, sorry. Okay. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining. Okay, so I guess we can just go and get started. All right, so we're getting those issues to our gateway. So some of our services, let's see, are working, which is integrations actually are working well, and the Openreplay and Sentry are not working. And it happened right after we created a separate load balancer for the Sentry application to distinguish it from Openreplay. And we start getting crashes. So we will go ahead and list our ingresses to see whether they are operating properly, right? Because if you're getting timeout issues, so something might be happening on the ingress. So we'll go ahead, go cdf, and I'll get ingress namespace Sentry. So ingress seems to be working well. We have the API address. So I also will try to compare this API address to the one I have in my DNS records, but not at the moment. And here we have the class Sentry. Here we have Openreplay. There also everyone with this API address. So everything seems to be working well. So the next thing I would do is actually I'll check my load balancer, Nginx Load Balancer logs. So for the Sentry, we'll go ahead and kubectl get pods namespace Sentry, and you see Nginx Load Balancer here. kubectl logs this one namespace Sentry. All right, we have a whole bunch of logs here. They are just threw me away. Okay, now we can see. Do we see anything suspicious here? I wouldn't say so. I'm just, yeah, so the only thing that looks weird for me that this ingress is actually not just uh, updating the statuses of the Sentry ingresses, but also for some reason for the NAN and Openreplay. So that might be issue. If the issue might be in the configuration of the ingress class. So I'll go ahead and see our config. So here in the Helm file YAML, we can see the Nginx Load Balancer Sentry, and we have the controller. We have specified the ingress class Sentry, and here we should have somewhere the ingress class specification as well. Yeah, we have it. So that shouldn't be the problem anymore. But still, I don't know why it's okay. Let's take a look on the NAN ingress because this one is working. So I'll go ahead and get pods of the NAN namespace. So we can see the ingress here as well. Logs, namespace, NAN. Yep, so we just yeah, checking all these logs and I see some errors here. Despite the fact that this one is working. Okay, they have some error certificate, but it doesn't seem to be. The visible issue right now. And yeah, they're still evaluating other namespaces, so I guess this is the expected behavior. Okay, and what we can see, we can also see the service app HTTP Openreplay doesn't have any active endpoints. So there might be the problem with actually the problem that the Openreplay service failing might cause multiple ingresses to have issue with that. Alright, so let's go ahead and get posts of the Openreplay namespace. Yeah, we can definitely see the service crashing. We can take a look on the logs. And you see that we have this issue that we've been experiencing before. So the service, for some reason, is unable to get started on the 80 port of our container. That's a really weird issue that is inconsistent and causing from time to time. And yeah, really not sure why it's happening. So let's also take a look on the logs of the ingress Openreplay namespace app. Alright, so yeah, we have pretty much the same lookup list everywhere. And I guess that this issue might causing all the other issues with other load balancers. So I don't like that it works that way, but I think we should figure out how we can fix it. Alright, I'll go ahead to the Google, and I think the first thing you're usually doing when you face issues like that, you're Googling them. Let's see. Let's open a few first. So here is the issue, the same issue in official Nginx Nginx GitHub repo. Let's check this. Okay, so we have some explanations to this. Using the storage driver that doesn't provide support for x86. This is required to use cabinet bind service and able to run as user binding to privileges port. Please change the storage driver to overlay to the defaults and change the ingress controller deployment to run as root. Well, I don't know how I can do this config because I'm using the default GKE settings for the storage drivers and everything. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Maybe I'll find more straightforward explanation to this issue, because I don't properly understand all of these, how I can change drivers. So I guess I should do it somewhere in my console, right? In the GKE console, because GKE is the one who is responsible for storage. So let's see here in the GKE storage. Maybe it has the relation to it somehow. Alright, so what do we have? Do we have any kind of Openreplay data? Sentry, where is storage Openreplay data? So we have it here as well. Oops. No, I don't know. Standard, storage class standard. So, well, I'm not sure if it's a problem. My guess is you relocated your root and haven't copied X address, and therefore capabilities fail since you likely no longer have the source files. A simple comment within both the containing the image and pulling it in you. Right, so yeah, that's might be the issue, because our application was moved from one node to the other node, and it means that it's implemented in some kind of a stateful way that requires to have some attributes to be stored locally, and that is my cause the issue. So what we can do, we can follow the suggestion of this guy. We can go ahead into our node of our GKE cluster and delete the image and the container of these applications, see if it helps. So it pull it again and recreate. But still, I mean, it's not a sustainable fix for me, because what if the service will change not one more time? It means we will face this issue again. So I don't like the way this deployment is implemented, but yeah, let's see what we can do about it. Yeah, just for the curiosity, I can also check this deployment template here, so we can see some more information. So they have containers, they have multiple containers here. In the Kubernetes deployment, image pool policy and ports. Well, okay, they don't even have any volumes here as far as I see. Do they? No, they don't. Okay, let them go ahead, and looks like this issue is the most obvious, this solution is the most obvious. So what I would do, I would let's get the pods one more time to just ensure that this pod hasn't been restored, and change the name. So let's copy this pod, then kubectl get pod, then the name of this pod namespace app output YAML, and thus we are able to see the two things that we want to see. The first one will be the image of this. Now, so here we have the image. I just save it somewhere for the reference. Let's save it here. And the second thing I want to see is the node name, the node. So I'll do it that way. Okay, that's the weird one, but for some reason we have this. This is Openreplay container deployed in the Sentry node. Yeah, I don't know why it's happening. Let's see. Right, so it has the annotation to any case. In any case, let's go ahead and get into this node, and we can go to it like this. Oh, here we have it saved so far. All right, perfect. So the other thing that we need to make sure when we go into the GKE node, the GKE is not using Docker, but instead using the CRI-CDL. And you can Google what is that, CRI-CDL. I was surprised about it. So this is some kind of so this is the command line interface for the Docker running runtimes, right? So if you run docker ps here, you won't see anything. But if you run CRI-CTL ps here, you will find only containers running. So this is how it works. And I don't know why it works that way. I didn't discover it yet. But I know that that there is some reason for it, so we'll discover it later. Right now though, we just need to make sure that we delete our HTTP Openreplay container here. So let's run with the all flags. So okay, so we can see it. Yeah, we have exited this one. So let me see how I can properly remove it. Alright, so here we can see we can do it like this. We can run CRI-CTL rm force, and then the name of this container, and let's see, not found, container not found. Find container not found. Can we, maybe should we remove it by name or what? Not found. Why is not found? Okay, let's ps all one more time. So we still have it. Alright, we have it recreated, I guess. That's why. It's getting recreated from time to time. So yeah, we just removed it. And then let's run docker prune. Sorry, but in our case it's gonna be CRI-CTL prune. Right, so it doesn't have the prune command here. So I guess we need to go ahead and get CRI-CTL images here, and we need to remove the other images we just saved here. CRI-CTL rm, sorry, we need to write RMI, so remove image. And I guess it should help us, so let's go ahead and see. Yeah, it just removed. And let's ps all one more time to see that we still have it. Okay, CRI-CTL rm f, that one, and then ps. So okay, we don't have neither container nor image of our HTTP CRI-CTL images. Let's double check that we don't have image here. So yeah, we still have the image. I guess it was just put again. So let's run this image removal comma again. Alright, so remove image. The Kubernetes is faster for me. Okay, so we've just removed the container and we just removed the image. So we did what they were asking for us. Okay, this image just got recreated 2 seconds ago, but exited. So right, so I'm not sure if we fixed the issue. We just removed the image in the container, it got recreated, and as a result it's still failing, so I'm not sure if it's solution or not. Alright, okay, open to my terminals here. Okay, my session just dropped away. Okay, the other thing might be that this. So we still got pulled. So the image still got pulled and updated. I don't know why it's happening. Let's then get nodes. We have the Openreplay node. Let's go into Openreplay node and see it there. So deploued compute SSH. CRICDL BS. Oh, oops, not the cap one. Okay, so we don't have the HTTP there like we have in the Sentry node. So it definitely lives in Sentry node for some reason. And the removing of the container and the image doesn't help like they suggesting here. It's still recommended in both containing the image and pulling it and you. So the other way to try to fix it is to completely remove the deployment of this service, then remove the image, remove the container from all the nodes, and then try to apply this deployment one more time and see how it works. So I'll go ahead and do it right now. So what we can do, we can kubectl. Okay, I'll exit from this node because we. By the way, let's also make an experiment and go to the default pool because this is the first where the Openreplay has started for the first time. So Cloud compute SSH this one, and let's see what will happen. Do we have the container there or not? Oh, CRICDL BS all. So we don't have the container here. Okay, then let's try to CRICDL images, grab HTTP. So we have the image here as well. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we just kubectl delete deployment HTTP. What the fuck is that? Openreplay replay namespace app. So we just remove the deployment. Let's take a look on the pods. So the pod should be removed as well. Right, so we have removed pod, so everything is fine now. We don't have the crashing pod. We don't have anything. By the way, if we don't have anything crashed, so it might help for us to be able to access the Sentry, because of course Openreplay won't be able to access because we don't have the HTTPS service running, but Sentry is still not alive, and this is something that bothers me as well. Let's go ahead and take a look on the pods of Sentry namespace. What are they doing? They are all healthy. Oops, sorry, wrong namespace. So we have the ingress, we have the load balancer. I'll close this terminal for now. kubectl kubectl logs, and see the logs one more time. Alright, so they are, well, I also need to remove the service, right? So let's go ahead and kubectl delete not just deployment but also the service, because the service is still trying to assign the endpoint, the internal endpoint for the HTTP Openreplay. But as far as we deleted the deployment, there is no port, and that there might be a global error that services can resolve the endpoint for the HTTP Openreplay. So it should definitely positively influence our deployment right now. Okay, Sentry still doesn't work. Yeah, that's fine, because okay, so we have reload everything, but still nothing. I'll put F flag here, so we will oops, not the F. Okay, yeah, it still tries to get the, well, I think what I should do, I should probably check my DNS config as one more time, just to make sure that my Sentry record points to the proper IP address. So I'll do it privately, because I don't know how to share my DNS config in the live stream publicly. Network services. Okay, so we're still getting this issue despite the fact that we just destroyed the HTTP Openreplay service. By the way, we can go ahead and check it. Let's say because this terminal is lagging for some reason. Okay, so here we have the no, we don't have HTTP servers anymore, so I still tries to obtain the app HTTP Openreplay. I'm not sure from where, but okay, somewhere in the local store. Never mind. I just want to check my DNS config if it's proper or not. Okay, we have wrong DNS setup. So yeah, that's well my issue. So I have an invalid address, so I should specify this one. But why I have it wrong? Let's see. Maybe I have some issues in my config, so I'll go ahead and open my secrets privately as well to check whether I have maybe somewhere misconfigured. So we have 28. Yeah, so this is misconfiguration, I guess. Right. So, and I guess, yeah, I guess let's get the app and see. So we have port 45 here, 32, 35, 228. So we have 45 here, we have 234, and let's then get N8N just for the reference. Alright, so yeah, the problem is that I'm not sure where these AP is coming from. So we have the Openreplay IP, which is 234. We have N8N IP, which is 55. And then we have the Sentry IP, which is 21. So I guess we have our IP configuration issue. So it looks like we indeed have. Let's go to our Helm file and check. So for the N8N, we have the N8N MP setup without any doubt. For the Sentry, okay, so we should have it here. We have the Sentry IP setup. Well, that's weird because maybe we're specifying the wrong AP or what? Okay, let's see for the Openreplay. Yeah, we have the same. That's very weird, because, well, let's go ahead to the docs and see how we should properly specify the AP address of our services, because I'm just confused. Like, each load balancer should have a separate AP address, and so it looks like our load balancers, well, looks like GKE assigned to our load balancer some dynamic AP that might be changing all the time, and that's kind of weird for me, and that's what might cause the issues, because integrations and Openreplay have the same AP address. Well, I'll go ahead to the Helm hub, where we have the list of all the Helm published Helm charts, and search for the Nginx. So we have Kubernetes, right? We have this one, the same as we have here, the same as we're using for all of our load balancers, and see how we can configure it. Configuration controller service. Alright, so Azure. Let's search for the load balancer. Balancer IP controller service load balancer IP. All right, let's take a look. In case, okay, so we have it somewhere else, right? So we have it set up properly. There is no doubt that it's used with the scenario having split DNS setup, CNAME, URL, CNAME. This way you should optionally can set up if you need a static IP for the resulting load balancer, right? So we have this setup, and let's check what's wrong here. So we have the N8N service, we have the Nginx service load balancer IP controller service load balancer IP. Okay, let's check the deployments. So, right, so how we call it? kubectl get pods namespace N8N. This is a very weird thing with those APs. Here we go, our deployment name there. kubectl get deployment. Well, I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it. Okay, output YAML. Don't have IP specification here. No, we don't have. All right. Well, yeah, that's the issue because I don't know what we're doing wrong to get this AP from here. But for some reason those IPs are different. The other thing we might try is to remove this condition just to make sure that okay, never mind. Let's do two of the things before we investigate why our IPs are configured improperly. So let's get kubectl get ingress one more time of the of the Sentry, and yeah, let's use this address in our DNS setup. I'm doing it privately. Okay, I updated DNS settings, so it might take up to 5 minutes to this change to apply. In the meanwhile, as far as you don't have HTTP Openreplay, what I would do, I would go inside every node and delete the image of the HTTP Openreplay, just like we have the suggestion CRICDL PSO. So do we have the HTTP? No, we don't. We don't have it anymore. So CRICDL images grab HTTP, we have it. So let's go ahead and delete it. CRICDL RMI, this one with the tag. We've deleted it properly. Okay, cool. I just copy this for the further operations. I'll exit this node and then let's go to the other node of Openreplay. Okay, cool. So let's check all the. We don't have the HTTP here neither. It's better to do it that way, to just grab it straight forward. No, we don't have it. CRICDL images grab HTTP. We have it. So we can now CRICDL RMI this dude. Okay, and let's check. Okay, we don't have it anymore. That's nice. And then let's get the kubectl get nodes. The last node we just didn't touch is Sentry. So Cloud Compute SSH Sentry. Okay, we're going here And what we can do, we should do CRI CDL PS all. Okay, it's gonna be grep HTTP beta, the follow HTTP backend. This one is not from the Openreplay. This one is from Sentry. I won't touch it, so I'll go ahead and do CRI CDL images grep HTTP. And we have this image, so CRI CDL RMI. Oh shit, I lost this name of this image because I copied the name of the node. Never mind, I'll do it now. We 1.7.0 and remove it. Then let's check the images so we don't have it. Alright, so we can go ahead and apply the new deployment right now. So it will reapply our HTTP Openreplay service. We can see what's going on there. Alright, let's do it. In the meanwhile, I can check the Sentry because I just fixed my DNS records and our Sentry started working, but we get 4.4. So at least it works. At least it has proper certificate. We can see here issued by Letsencrypt, so that's perfect. And let's wait until this stuff will release. Alright, so yeah, we are checking it. The other thing I wanted to test is really why our load balancers are getting different IPs from those we specified in configuration. So the one issue for this might be that we configured them not in the most proper way, and thus they got random IPs from GKE automatically. So it means that we don't necessarily need to specify our static IPs. The other case is that might be that our Helm charts conditioning wrong here, and it's just keeping the specification the load balancer IP. That's why we're not getting. So after we will fix this issue, what I would like to do is to remove those conditions for every of the deployments and see if we have our IP addresses to be changed or not. Okay, yeah, so it's now tries to deploy the Sentry Web and HTTP Openreplay. Both of those services are taking a while to deploy, but we can check the Openreplay status right now. Get pause namespace app. Okay, alright, so yeah, we have error here as well. So which error do we have here? Okay, so I guess the same. Yeah, we have the same issue, so nothing changed. This fix didn't help us. It didn't help us. Sentry doesn't work as well. So yeah, we have something more, even more worse than here. This suggestion didn't help us. Well, okay, host network true. It can be caused by Docker don't have rights to open ports, HTTP, HTTPS ports as standard user modifying unprivileged ports on VM, on node VM is useless because problem is probably on the port network. Try to add host network true. Alright, so we can do it like they suggesting. So Let's add host network 2 to our deployment of the HTTP service Openreplay. So it should be added somewhere after specification here, like this, right? Okay, let's then cancel this deployment because it will hang for an hour or so and reapply it back again. By the way, the other thing I'm curious is where our pod of Openreplay HTTP exists now, in which nodes we go ahead and kubectl get pod namespace app, output YAML, grep node. Okay, now it's Openreplay node, so that's perfect. We redeployed it and it's in the proper node. That's the good news here. Okay, some error. Okay, well, it's still running. Okay, so a lot of logs here, a lot of output, so a lot of checkings you're doing. The other interesting thing is why Sentry 404. This is another story. Alright, so this okay, so our Sentry is also deploying right now. Let's check our pods here. So we have the same crashing. I just delete this node, so kubectl delete pod. I'm still crashing, so nothing new. Neither of these fixes helping us to solve the problem. Same error, same error. We're getting the same error. 2 restarts so far, so it won't change. It will still work that way. So okay, let's go for the further suggestions. Okay, they're suggesting to delete all ingress images, so not just the. We have actually multiple ingress, so I think we might want to not just delete the HTTP Openreplay image, but also delete the all Nginx images from all nodes. So let's go ahead and do it. Before moving forward, okay, I guess we should start with different nodes. We will start with Openreplay, and I just remove this change I just said because it doesn't make any sense here. Right, then CRI CDL images, grab HTTP, we have it, grab Nginx, we have it. Alright, so we need to delete the 3 images, and thus the 3 CDI, it's gonna be complicated because they are automatically pulled every time. I hope we will solve it. What I think we should do is to delete images first. Okay, let's then ps all grab Nginx. We have nothing with Nginx here. Then just let's take a look on ps all. What do we have? Okay, perfect. I think deleting the images would be sufficient because we don't have any of the no such image. Well, there is such an image, but it doesn't want to take it by. Okay, it went well by the ID, so I'll go ahead and do the same for all of these images. Then we can go ahead and grab these images one more time. Okay, so we've deleted everything in the Openreplay node. I'll go ahead and delete it on every node. CRI-CDL-PS all. Okay, we have HTTP on the fucking Sentry node one more time. What the hell? Yeah, it's on the Sentry now again. So again, this is an issue. Grab HTTP, CRI-CDL, RMI, these dude. Okay, it's actually better to get it by ID than CRI-CDL images. Grab Nginx. Here you go, 3 images so far. CRI, CDL, RMI, these dude, then these dude, then these dude. All right, perfect. Let's take a look whether they were recreated or okay, it has been recreated. What about that dude? It has been recreated. CRI, CDL, PS, all, grab HTTP. So we have it. CRI, CDL, RM, F, this one. Then let's grab Nginx. We have nothing. Okay, it's just got. Okay, yeah, it just got. Okay, just go recreate less than a second ago. Perfect. exited, so it's crashing despite that we remove everything. All right, it's still crashing, so those shit doesn't help. All of the suggestions. Turns out the storage was mounted with noise the option, or mounted the storage without that option. Deleted ingress pod. That's one of my issues. So also might be the issue about the mount, but we don't have any volumes here, are we? Storage. We don't have any kind of storage here, so it's not our case. We already did this, didn't help. Now I can change the server port. Well, no, this is not our use case. Neither these. Nothing from here. We don't have neither of these. No. So I guess, like from my memory, when we had this issue with port binding, I didn't manage to find a way how to solve it. But what I did manage to do is, when I have some Nginx Load Balancer issues, this issue was related and occurred again. So I guess right now we have some kind of weird API assignment issue. So multiple ingress controllers, ingress load balancers have the same IP, and this is not okay at all. So I think that if we fix that issue, it might influence the fix of the current issue with the HTTP Openreplay service. First of all, what I'm interested in, why Sentry is 4.4 despite the fact that we just specified all the API addresses, whatever. So go ahead, kubectl get pods namespace Sentry. All right, and yeah, I'm interested in that pod. kubectl logs this one namespace Sentry follow. No, let's follow. Let's follow the logs. I'll close this terminal because we don't have much space here. Okay, it's still just throwing the error that we don't have. Okay, it looks like it even doesn't reach the load balancer. No, it didn't. So I guess it might be reaching a different load balancer. F. Let's see it here. Nothing from here. Boom. Get pod namespace Sentry. Grab HTTP. Okay, sorry. Grab Nginx. Sorry, I need to make a pause 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back here. Sorry for this delay. Alright, so grab okay, we just made these logs for the Sentry, right? Didn't we? I just want to try one more time. Yeah, they're so fucking long. So hitting the endpoint here doesn't produce us any kind of new log information here. So kubectl get pod namespace NAN, then grab Nginx. Alright, so in here we can do kubectl logs namespace NAN follow. Okay, so here we have some issues loading custom certificates, and it doesn't produce any logs here as well. Okay, I just checked the ingresses one more time. So Sentry ingress has 133.45. I'll go ahead to my config and see what is that IP address. You can see, guys, but I'll just be telling you what I'm doing. Okay, so for the Sentry, we have an IP address which ends up 18728. For the Openreplay, we have 94234, and for the NAN it's 16155. So I don't know where we're getting these IP addresses from. Looks like it was just assigned. Okay, let's try to gcloud. Oh shit, maybe GCP. No, I forgot gcloud. Oh, compute. Oh no, let's try to find somewhere in the history. Okay, addresses list. Let's see our existing reserve static IP address single cloud. Do we have 45? Do we have 40? Well, we don't have. So you just assign random IP address here. I don't know why, but this one is not used. Sentry is not used for some reason. I don't know why, but it's not used, and that's it. Okay, we'll check this soon. Let's then go ahead and kubectl get ingress namespace NAN. So for the 40N, we have reserved IP address of 55. Yeah, that's a proper IP address, no doubt about it. And for the Openreplay, we have 234. And Openreplay got 45, the same as, wow, the same as Sentry. Why the hell? Why the hell is that? So I guess the problem is that, yeah, the problem is that we're trying to serve two load balancers under one IP address, like we see here, which is some kind of, I don't know where we're getting it from. And this problem might cause all these side effect issues of internal service communication. The full 4 for the Sentry and the unable to start HTTP Openreplay service. This is the more likely the reason for it. So I would fix that one first. Well, I have nothing to say because really, so weird issue. It looks like these services are getting dynamic IP address. So if we try to go to the Openreplay, we should It's still getting bad gateway. Alright. Oh, I'll go ahead and check. Well, there's definitely not a sustainable thing happening here, because you can see that this is kind of some kind of side effect issue, because before we had multiple services, Sentry and Openreplay running under one load balancer, and then we split them. And I guess this is the bad thing that happened after this split. Some caching config was still present there, and thus right now we just can't solve this stuff. So as far as our deployment is not production yet, so we can, the easiest thing we can do here is just destroy it and deploy it back again. And even if for production it will cause downtime, but it won't cause you data loss, because by default the destruction of the Helm releases won't destroy the persistent value claims stored in GCP until you destroy them manually. So I think it should fix the problem. I'm thinking only the one thing I want to be sure about is that this condition for our APRS, chart here, it is working, so that our service is not getting the dynamic random APRS, but the one we specified it to get. So how we can check and we can debug our Helm file template, but as far as I don't want to disclose my secrets, I'll do it privately and then tell you how did I do it. Okay, not that one, but this one. Okay, I just executed it, but we performed the deployment. Okay, so here you go. The Sentry got 28 from the config, so pretty much like we have here set up. So the template got it properly. Let's go before. So the N8N got 6155. So the same as we have here, right? And then the Openreplay, let's check the Openreplay as well. Yep, so here we have Openreplay, got 234, which is exactly the same. So for you to understand what I did right now, I just want to share my private terminal. What I did, I simply run the Helm file. Oh shit. Sorry, my terminal just dropped out for some reason. Okay, let me see if you can see. Okay, you can see it. That's perfect. So instead of running, yeah, I've just run this command template, and it showed me the contents of all of my templates, how they got evaluated, and I found that they got evaluated properly, so we don't have any kind of issues with the evaluation of those templates. The only issue we're getting right now is we have some random improper IP addresses here, and as far as I discover, that could be some kind of a side effect issue. Because let's take a look on these. So the Sentry has this IP address, but here it has completely different IP address, which is not in our list. The Openreplay should have these, but here it has completely different, not in our list. Then let's take a look at cdl get ingress namespace N8N just to verify it. So N8N, but N8N got the fucking IP address of Openreplay. What the hell is going on here? I don't know. So they just, you know, but still the URL works. Okay, I'm just getting mad from it. Those addresses are changing completely every time, and it doesn't look like I have control over them. So something weird happening. Our HTTP is still crashing, and I guess the reason of all this crap is those IP addresses mess we have here. As we have different Nginx classes, whatever, but still have all this mess here. So I'll go ahead and helm file destroy. I'm destroying the deployment completely, of course without persistent volume climb, so they still be present. We just delete all the services and reapply them back again. So I guess the problem we have here is something wrong with our load balancers config. As far as we have multiple load balancers, we doesn't have one, but we have multiple load balancers. So every service has own load balancer because we want to keep them completely independent. So the crashing of one service won't affect the others, because let's say if the nodes of one service get crashing, okay, so yeah, we have everything terminating. Okay, we don't have ingresses anywhere anymore. Now let's go ahead and run the apply. Apply. Let's hope that it will help us. It might take a while. So maybe this idea of having multiple load balancers for different services is bullshit. I don't know. But we'll see. But the only concern was that here in the Openreplay they have a built-in load balancer, and it was hard to set up the Openreplay without that load balancer. So I decided, okay, let's do it the way that every service has its own load balancer. But as far as we getting a whole bunch of mess with that, I guess if we won't be able to fix the IP addresses assignment issue, what we can do, we will try to disable internal load balancer of the Openreplay address, and we will create a separate load balancer, a different namespace that will be our central load balancer for all the services. Of course, it might not work for my theory that having multiple load balancers per multiple services is better because they are located in different nodes, and whenever you're getting some node group or nodes outage, it means the centralized load balancer will crash complete cluster, all the images, all the services. But in case of we have multiple load balancers, other services will still continue working. So that was my concern, but yeah, still not sure about it. If it's bad or good doing things that way. Let's see. Let's try to make this redeployment right now to see how our load balancer will behave. Now, if we still have a lot of issues with setting them up properly, proper API addresses, whatever, we will consider doing something else. Let's wait. Okay, we got some crash here. Let's wait till the okay. Right, it's failed to post. No endpoints available. Okay, yeah, so it doesn't have API address because it's not got assigned yet. But at least right now it should be assigned properly, I guess. So we still need to wait a while until we got the Sentry load balancer AP, so we got it. So it proceeded. Cool. Okay, looks like everything going well. So I'll try somewhere separately. Okay, back limit exceeded. We got this issue with Openreplay, so Openreplay is sometimes crashing with it, but in the meanwhile I'll try to get, okay, we still don't have the ingress in Sentry. Do we have it in N8N? No. Do we have in app so far? No, we don't. Okay, so we don't have any ingresses yet. Okay, it just crashed because of some some Openreplay issues, so we'll go ahead and reapply it back again. Openreplay is not as consistent help chart as you want it to be. Yeah, but we have what we have. We will try to treat it as best as we can. Initially, I wanted to set up everything without a hosted load balancer. I wanted to use the GKE Load Balancer. And my reason for E was, first of all, you have managed load balancer, so you don't need to care about your load balancer a lot. And the second one, that you have managed certificates from GCP, but I mean, I didn't like that there are a lot of hassle on the GKE side, on the GCP side. You need to do a lot of resources to set up it properly. So it just simply to, okay, we get some error one more time. Okay, so we just start trying to get the API address. Yeah, cool. So it's simply to set up an external load balancer for GKE. It's really simple, just one command. But when it comes to setting up some SSL certificates, is really painful. So I've decided to go with my custom Nginx Load Balancer, and so we have it one more time. And customize certificates. It worked well, but you see right now I have multiple load balancers. It doesn't seem to be as well as we want it to be. And also the other reason of it was that Openreplay didn't work with external load balancer for the same reason. So the HTTP service was failing there, and I decided to set up Openreplay with internal, and then Sentry and N8N with external. But yeah, then it become complicated. But we will see. Maybe there would be better to have the internal load balancer only for the Openreplay, and then get the GKE load balancer for some other error. Certificate signed by unknown authority. Validate Nginx Kubernetes. Failed to post and control admission. Okay, do we have the ingress so far? That's what I'm interested in. No, we don't. We don't have it yet, and this fucking job continuously failing to redeploy it. Okay, we have this job for the, we have the ingress for the N8N. Let's see the address we have here. And it's still getting some, I don't know, some still getting some weird address for me. But it's still fucking working, you see? So maybe this address we got in ingress is not the address we are assigning to the load balancer. That's insane for me. I don't understand it. It works for some reason, and that's it. Okay, this won't work because neither this won't work. But what I'll definitely do is I'll set up the same and make sure to set up the same IP addresses we have here for our config. So N8N in use. So okay, they're telling the N8N is in use despite the fact that we have load balancer with this address. It still tells that it is in use, so somehow it works. Because as far as I understood, the ingress IP address is different than the load balancer IP address. I thought they are the same, but they are not. So let's follow the same pattern for everything. Let's set this one for Sentry and this one for Openreplay. I'll do it privately as I mentioned previously. So go ahead to my DNS provider and do it right now. And as far as I know, we should have the same address for Openreplay. I'll go ahead and check it. 234 Openreplay 234. Yeah, we have it. So everything else should be set up properly. Alright, so I'll go ahead and pause for 1 second until it deploys, guys. I'll be right back soon. Okay, I'm here. Let's take a look on our deployment process. So it's going well. So something is getting deployed, and meanwhile, I just want to check. Okay, I just checked the API addresses, and we can see that our N8N is in use, our Openreplay is in use. So this one should be okay. I'll go ahead to get our ingress from the Sentry. Okay, and it just didn't get an API address, so everything looks well right now. Everything seems to be well. Let's wait until Sentry deploys and then see what we can do. So yeah, this experience of having custom load balancer, especially if you want to have multiple load balancers, because you have a big cluster and a whole bunch of services, and you have multiple load balancers for every of these, is, I mean, it might be fragile if you're changing these load balancers, because especially if your services are interrelating, so that might cause you big troubles. And if you want to redeploy your cluster again, you might have downtime for about an hour, which is bad. So hopefully here we're making experiments and we are not kind of like bound to any kind of production environment, so we can still have downtime, whatever we want. But if we're talking about more loaded environment where we have users, everything, it's a bit scary to do things like that way. But still, now we learned a few lessons that we might apply. So we know how to properly set up load balancer from scratch, so we won't make any issues like that. After that, okay, so still Eddie's Sentry didn't obtain the APRS, but the Openreplay should obtain, right? Yeah, so it obtained, and Sentry will obtain it soon, and after that we can judge whether we are doing things well or not. So, and as far as I understood, those, okay, so it's just went well. Those our deployment just happened well. Let's wait until Sentry obtain API address, and only that we'll start testing it. The static API address that we are reserving in GCP are just some kind of external API addresses our load balancer obtain, right? And the ingress load balancer is a slightly different thing that gets mapped from the load balancer, or this static API address is no more than kind of an alias. An alias that we reserve and that got redirected to the dynamic API address our services are exposed on. So these are just my assumption. I'm not an expert in networking in any of these, so just getting these from here. Okay, let's also check what will GCP says about IP addresses. Are they okay? So we have N8N Openreplay in use, and Sentry is still just in reserved status. So it means like it still didn't get related to the our load balancer. So let's wait for it. but everything seems to be running well, so it's no problem. Then let's get pods in app. We have the same shit as we had before, so nothing changed. That's just frustrates me, you know. Yeah, the same shit. So this fucking Openreplay is continue crashing, so I guess the issue is persist and we didn't fix it. Sentry didn't obtain AP address yet. What I can say that things are crappy. Openreplay bad gateway, Sentry won't respond because it still didn't link to the proper ingress. At least our N8N works. The only thing that works is our N8N. What I would like to do is to check the config for the Sentry one more time. So we have Sentry, we have ingress class name Sentry. Oh, let's make sure that yeah, it populates actually, because we see in our config. Okay, we have the load balancer for Sentry. We have the AP specified. We have everything we need to have. Why the hell then we still, and it doesn't obtain the AP address, so something is wrong here. Something is wrong. Okay, let's go to the logs. kubectl get pods namespace Sentry grep Nginx. So we're gonna get the pod name, then kubectl logs this dude. Okay, I'll close this terminal. Yeah, it just, you know, still the same output, nothing new. Nothing new. Still doesn't have an AP address. I'm just thinking what else can we do to fix that issue. And my idea is to actually having 3 load balancers. That is bad. So either we have one centralized load balancer managed by us, or we getting the internal load balancer just to Openreplay because it's just implemented in the way that it works with Nginx Load Balancer only. And for the other services, we're using the GKE Load Balancer. Technically, if we think about it from the business perspective, so the outage of the Sentry or Openreplay won't have such a big negative impact of our business scenario in comparison to the N8N. So we need to make sure that N8N is, so we can just have the GKE load balancer for N8N, separate one, right? And then those services, Sentry and Openreplay have the internal load balancer for themselves. But before doing that, I think what we need to do is to go with one centralized load balancer. So shut down the Openreplay internal load balancer, create one external, and use it for all the services. Because as you see, it still doesn't work, and I guess it won't work. Right, so close my door. Okay, I go ahead and change this config so we can have something like I just mentioned. I think this is the best approach. So let's go ahead to our we don't need these then the same. Okay, we don't need this config for the databases, right? We don't need for the app. So we should have it vice versa. We should have it here. We should remove it from here basically and do it here. Okay, perfect. So now let's leave this thing here and namespace will be the Nginx, right? So the class name we will use default class name. So I'll remove all these class name specifications. We don't need them anymore. Let's use the Openreplay IP address as the default IP address here. Okay, so this is going to be our centralized Nginx Load Balancer, and here Nginx enable false, that's nice. Nginx enable true. So class name would be Nginx, so we're using the default class name. By not specifying the class name here, it should create a default class name Nginx. And right, so we're skipping these. And here for the N8N, we want to do the same. So we don't want to ingress Nginx. I would say here enabled false, just for the beginning to not install it. Remove all of these, and then class name Nginx. Yeah, so let's see our N8N config to make sure that so our dependencies won't install because we have enabled false, right? So seems to be well. Okay, so one more thing we need to change, I guess we didn't do so far, is Openreplay ingress class name. So if we take a look here on our charts, we have ingress class name, right? So we have ingress class name for the Openreplay app or whatever. global ingress. So let's do it the same way. Okay, let's see the charts. So we make sure how they're evaluating the class name from here. They have nothing to do with class name. Okay, so they have the class Openreplay, but I'm just can't fucking figure out how are they applying this class name. Okay, let's try to also see it here. Okay, ingress class, here we go. So in the, okay, maybe they're getting it from the controller. No. I don't know, but I have suspicion that it's hard-coded somewhere. Right. So let's for instance check this one. Okay, so we have, you can see, yeah, values global ingress control ingress class name, gotcha. So we need to go to the ingress class name. So here, Openreplay databases. Oh, it's an app. Okay, it's an app. It's an app, and it means that we should specify the controller English class in order to have these controller English class Nginx. That's it. So yeah, we have it like this. And what does it mean? That we have a central load balancer. Let's okay, Nginx Load Balancer. Nginx. So this is, everything is well. And I like it. Okay, let's explicitly add Nginx here so we don't have any kind of misconfiguration or stuff like that. And let's check all the class name by default. So here we have Nginx, here we have Nginx, here we have Nginx, here we have Nginx. Okay, what about Openreplay? Do we have it? We have English class Nginx, and let's double check the HTTP service one more time so we can see the ingress name, but true values global ingress controller English cluster name. So we have it wrong. We need to fix it one more time. English cluster source name like this. So here we go. Ingress controller controlling English cluster source name. Why are we doing it that way? Because if we specifying ingress Nginx here, right? But here we have the path of global ingress controller. And if you see the values object of the Openreplay deployment, you see that you have ingress Nginx here, where you're specifying all the config that is reused for ingress in the global. Right, so we're modifying this ingress Nginx, which is populated to this global ingress. And this is how it works. Okay, so right now we can just go ahead and apply it straight away, but I have kind of like a bit of doubt that it will work from the first time, right? So so we might have some issues. And yeah, let's try it out and see. So maybe we'll need to destroy our cluster and deploy back again. But in the meanwhile, let's do it and just see what will happen. So I hope the centralized load balancer will help us to conquer all those issues. Okay, you just dropped. Okay, right. So yeah, because they can't move the release of our Nginx to different namespace. So I guess we need to destroy and apply, because we're making such a strategical change that usually if you're doing changes like this, you don't modify an existing cluster in production, but instead you spin up new cluster with the persistent volumes, with the stateful data of your production cluster. You execute everything there, and after everything works, you just, in kind of like a green-blue deployment strategy, right? You just gradually moving traffic from your old cluster to a new cluster and see how it behaves. And only after that you shut down the old cluster. So such breaking changes are not making. Once we destroy everything, let's apply. So as you understand, apply might take us for 5 to 10 minutes. I think this solution will definitely help us. So after that, we should definitely see the working result of our service. And just to tell you in advance, the next step of our deployment would be setting up the GKE backups and discovering the backup and restore mechanisms. So by default, the GKE offering you the cluster backup. If you go ahead to your Kubernetes engine panel, you have backup of GKE. You can set it up here. Let's see, it's still loading. You can just enable it. Here are the pricing details. So you have different regions. Let's see, in Europe. So it costs really, so it's about $1 a month, so it's nothing. And it provides you with the ability to back up your services. But what I'm curious really about is, for instance, okay, if we have the services outage, we just restoring the snapshot of our cluster for an hour ago, and that's it, it works. But what if we have let's say, some database issue, database data corruption, something like that? So we have some issue from that scope, and how are we restoring the only database? So let's say either persistent volume or exact database from that snapshot of GKE, and I guess what I assume how we're doing, we just create a new cluster, we deploying the snapshot to this new cluster, we exporting manual database from there, importing it manually inside of existing cluster. So I guess this is how it works. Okay. So okay, we have a crash. Why we have crash? Because of the same reason the release was in different namespace, but okay, I did remove this release, didn't I? Maybe we'll need to wait for a while until all the resources being stopped and removed completely after we run the destroy command, so we won't face this issue again. Okay, we removed on kubectl get pods namespace Sentry. I'm just curious to see what we have here. Okay, they all still running. What the hell is going on here? They all running. Wow, this. What the fuck? No, it's not healthy. I've just destroyed the release, and okay, let's take a look on other services. Okay, they are eliminated. So yeah, only Sentry for some reason still running. Okay, let's run the destroy command one more time, because it just blew in my mind, you know. Maybe because of the changes we just applied to change the ingress, it just behaves that way, but well, what the fuck? They're still running. That's bullshit. Okay, what I do, I'll just remove kubectl delete deployment. Okay, so deployment got deleted. This stuff is terminating. It might have any kind of other resources there, but yeah, so let's. Okay, I've eliminated the at least Sentry from there. Let's apply it one more time and see, because this issue shouldn't be the problem anymore. Okay, I guess what I wanted to do is just drop a namespace, and thus all the resources inside the namespace should be executed. It should be deleted, sorry. Okay, I'll go ahead and make a pause for a minute and get back to you guys soon. Okay, I'm back here, guys. Sorry, I was out for a while. Okay, so we got still the same issue with our services. So the fucking Sentry still exists, and I don't know how we can. Okay, Helm be okay. So here you go. Yep. So what we should do? Let's make Helm file destroy one more time. And I'll just manually delete the release from the Helm so we don't get it anywhere. And I destroy the Sentry namespace. I'm not sure why the Helm didn't take care of removing it. Maybe because of some inconsistency, but we have what we have, so let's focus on that. Alright, so let's see again what we have. We still have this one. So what we can do, we can just Helm roll back. Let's just roll it back. And yeah, okay, so status deployed. Right, so it's got deployed. Let's then remove the second one, the second revision. Okay, it's got fucking server. What's happening here? And Sentry is full. Okay, kubectl delete namespace Sentry. I just drop the namespace and all the services should be dropped as well. This Helm release. Okay, let's Google quickly. Helm destroy release. So I'm getting the rollback and it just executes. Okay, I'll just make manual uninstall then. To do. Okay, cool. Okay, we have empty pods. Okay, we have no release. Though now we can finally apply our Helm chart. Alright, so let's hope that our solution will fix it. Okay, in the meanwhile, we can, because it takes some time, so what we can do, we can just go ahead to our GKE and try to enable this backup feature. Okay, I'll enable this one. I just got got us create a backup plan. So to start back, you need to enable backup for GKE feature from your cluster. Yep, let's enable and see what do we have here. So okay, just backups, not storage, persistent volumes, right. We don't have anything. So what can we do here? Let's see. We want to okay. So I want to back up this PVC, let's say, because it connects us to Postgres, so it contains some data. Well, I still can't figure out how I can do it. Okay, let's try to test the region U. Okay, not these, but oh, okay, so they only support. All right. This class doesn't have backup wiki enabled. How the hell I can enable it? Pretty confusing. Okay, so what we have, we have we have the same damn issue. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just run a destroy. It just doesn't want for us to create fucking the same release. So I'll just rename this release so it won't bother anyone. Just call it Load Balancer. That's it. It's gonna be enough. Because we're doing a whole bunch of shit here and nothing really happens. Alright, so okay, cool. Let's make apply one more time. So I renamed the release, so it shouldn't bother no one, I guess. Okay, so backup for GKE, we have enabled this, right? So what is the issue? I want to create a backup plan. So we have cluster, total backup plans, enable backups. To start creating backups, you must enable the backup key feature in the cluster. Click continue to proceed to the details page. Oops, where you can enable. Gotcha. Yeah, I just didn't read the description carefully and I missed something. So yeah, that's okay. Backup GKE workload identity. You must first enable workload identity. What is workload identity? Okay, here you go. I don't know what it is. Let's Google it. Allows GKE clusters to imperfectly define access management service accounts to gotcha. So they want to give the GKE permissions to access GCP services, right? Okay, makes sense. We close this stuff here, we don't need it. So yeah, let's enable it, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, what the fuck? It's just crashing again. I've just changed all the crap here. Nginx in namespace exists can be imported into the current release. Ingress class Nginx in namespace exists and cannot be imported. Okay, I got it. I got it. Okay, so maybe we need to remove this explicit class annotation here. Right. Okay, so did we do something here or not? Let's see. Okay, cool. So we enable workload entity. I still disable. What the hell? I just enabled it. I've just enabled it. You saw it, right? Or maybe it's still loading. You just say disable. That's insane, you know. Nah. Ah, okay, so it still enables. Gotcha. Yeah, so it still enables. Okay, so we modified the cluster, so our deployment failed because we enabled this shit. Okay, let's wait. Then let's wait. I didn't know that it will take so much time. Alright guys, it's getting to take a lot of our time here today to solve this issue, and I'm pretty sure that we're on the finish line with solving it, and this radical solution should fix it. And you see that's a lot of things that delaying our post progress with that. So I'll go ahead and finish the stream right now to not make it very long, and I'll share with you the result of this operation in another video, in another stream. Or if it won't work, we will start another stream tomorrow or the day after. We'll continue discovering and fixing it. So thanks everyone for watching this. I appreciate your time being here today. If you like this stream, if you like this coding session, or if you want to learn more, if you want slightly different way of getting insights from the DevOps infrastructure, site reliability engineering, software reliability, and security, feel free to add any kind of comments to this stream recording or to the chat panel here. And yeah, subscribe to my channel to be notified about new streams. I'll scale them soon. Thanks very much for watching this. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'm looking forward to seeing you